is going to be talking about Bluemix, I think. Watson, possibly? No, Watson not yet. IoT stuff, Internet of Things, which is kind of the theme of this evening, so that's good, you're on topic. And I'll leave you to it. Thank you very much.
First of all, thanks very much, Simon, for giving us the opportunity to come and talk to you people who are there and are the makers and are potentially our next collaborators to take the makings to enterprise solutions, and that's kind of the vision that we've got for it. IBM realises that really, we go after enormous customers and we're trying to take technologies which we've developed in-house, but over the last few years, and certainly within the last 24 months or so, we've really embraced the fact that the developer community, that young people, people that have got industry knowledge, are actually the people that are going to make the changes to the innovative solutions and bring new technology to marketplace. So there's a bit of a tenuous link there to the maker revolution. You might think, what's IBM doing in this space? But really it's about giving you the tools to be able to do that yourselves. So the agenda tonight is just, sorry, it's quite IBM-ish, sorry, I've borrowed this presentation from somebody else, I've thrown in some other screenshots and stuff. But just to talk about what IBM is doing in the Internet of Things space, to give you a bit of an overview about how we're working to build an ecosystem with partners who maybe you'll come across yourselves dealing with Internet of Things, how we're trying to harness that intelligent data and drive new business models, and then some IoT solution thoughts and experiences that we've had from working with lots of young companies ourselves, and really giving you and enabling you with some tools that I'd really like you to take away from today, to go and have a play with, to have a bit of an explore and see what we've got available, and get on board and join this community that we're trying to develop as well. So, oh yeah, I forgot, there's all these things. Let me just bring them all in so I don't have to keep coming back and forth. So, back in 2007, which seems like an age ago, IBM announced Smarter Planet. Has anybody heard of Smarter Planet? Show of hands. It was like a great marketing campaign, wasn't it?
We're just showing our age.
Yeah, I remember it all. So Smarter Planet was all about, putting, getting devices and getting instrumentation, sensors, interconnecting them, which is through the internet, and then making intelligent things for business. And to be honest, I'll give you a couple of examples where we've already been doing this for quite a while with some of our customers. My favourite subject, especially in a night like tonight, is wine. So in the wine industry, there used to be a wee man that went about checking how's that grape growing, and do we need some more water over here? Is the soil a bit chalky there? And these guys were really knowledgeable and wise, and people bowed down to them because they had all that knowledge in their heads. And today, what we've done is applied technology to those kind of solutions and those problems, to come up with solutions, I should say. So looking at satellite data, really high, what do you think? What's the word?
Resolution.
Resolution, that's the word, thanks. High resolution data from satellites to be able to look and do analysis of the soils, and then also, based on observations at the farm level as well, to try and see what's actually going on. And then from the back of that, we've been able to put together solutions which basically deliver optimised water irrigation right at the plant level, individual plant level, and fertilisation as well. And you can see the impact that's had. That's like 20% reduction in the amount of water that you need to actually give to a vineyard. And if we're looking at consumables and renewables and all these good words, then it's really a big massive improvement. And for me, I know that the wine is tasting better on a more regular basis, and I'm not so worried if I can get my yellow label Shiraz at Tesco, or if it's not been there for the last couple of years. So it's really having a good impact on myself anyway. Has anybody heard of the Fatberg? Fatberg, London? Disgusting. So we're all kind of, I suppose, guilty of maybe scraping the fat off after you've done the dishes, putting it down the sink. Well, in London, you can think of this ageing infrastructure that's been there for years, hundreds of years. It was never developed for the number of people that are actually using it today. Think about all the different international backgrounds and people that use fat and then stick it down the toilet or stick it down the sink or whatever. And so this stuff all attracts fat, it all lumps together, and they had this challenge that there was this big fat bear appeared in the sewer system, and all the sewer stuff was going out in the streets, and it was just horrific. And so that's a challenge, but can you imagine actually having to, in the olden days we would dig up the streets and we would take all that out and we would deal with it. But now to apply technology to those kind of problems, what we do is we put in sensor technology throughout the system, and now you can analyse where there's going to be bottlenecks and make decisions about predictive maintenance and quality, so that you avoid having to dig up the street in the financial district and think about the impact that that's going to have to business. And then you can do things like actually plan and forecast and build it in with other organisations, whether it's gas, digging up the gas mains and things like that, and do predictive and smart things that we would love to see on a daily basis up here. I'm certainly sick of seeing things like the trams happening. So that's had a massive impact. It's a lot more cost effective. I'll do it again, that's it. So, where are we? This year, 31st of March 2015, we announced that IBM is going to spend $3 billion over the next 4 years on Internet of Things. And that's not just about IBM investing for IBM people, it's about giving you, the people that have the ideas, the technology to go and make a difference in the world. So what have we done? 3 major areas that we've invested in. So the first one is looking at industries and Internet of Things. And I'll give you an example for you for the IoT Cloud Open Platform for Industries. If you think of insurance, and basically what we're doing is we're providing them the facility to make use of that data that's coming off the vehicles, so that we can do things like completely change the business models for insurers to make it so it's a completely individual policy to you. That I know that I drive very sensibly across the motorway back and forth to Edinburgh, but they might not. Adam, my colleague that's here tonight, he might be a bit crazy in the car, and they can analyse the different patterns of behaviour and give you the appropriate type of insurance for you, but also analyse the behaviours of us as groups of people and look at what's the patterns that we can derive from that and come up with new business models and new go-to-market strategies. We've also got the IBM Bluemix IoT zone, and has anybody heard of Bluemix before? Bluemix, yes, or something. Okay, so Bluemix is IBM's platform as a service. So basically, we've got the cloud, which is our software, it's equivalent of some of the Amazon and Microsoft things you would know. We've got our own flavour of a development platform as well. So in there we've got things like APIs and services that you can just grab and click and pull together and start plugging together and very quickly realise some business value. And what we've done is we've identified that Internet of Things is the biggest next thing that's coming along, and we've provided you an Internet of Things Foundation, it's called, where you can go and use Bluemix to start plugging together services. You mentioned Watson, Simon, and it's one of these, it's artificial intelligence or cognitive computing capabilities. Think about what you could do by plugging some of the data off your sensing devices and really trying to get some kind of competitive advantage, was my friend, somebody I was speaking to earlier, and get to market faster than your competition by getting these services and plugging them all together and taking some solution. And also we've got an industry-wide IoT ecosystem. IBM's had partners for a number of years, and we've got very strict kind of channels that we go to market. So normally it's through their distributors, who then sell into our resellers, and they resell the software to the customers. But now what we're looking at is, actually this has changed so massively in the last couple of years that we've developed a completely new ecosystem of partners. It's not just those kind of people that go out and sell products for us, it's also people like communications organisations, people that are actually developing silicon technologies and some of those areas, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a second. There's the press announcement if you want to follow up and have a look at it. So Bluemix, I mentioned, I don't know if it's a small diagram. If you go into the Bluemix website, just Google Bluemix, you can get in there straight away and set up for a 30-day free trial. Then navigate over to the left-hand side to Internet of Things, and then you get presented with this page here, and there's the Internet of Things Foundation, which you can then click and interact with. And I'd really recommend, if you've got some devices that you want to connect up to your computers, whatever, go and have a play about with it and see what you can do, because it could give you a platform that's also free, which I'll come back to in a moment, and you could get some quick business value. Yeah, and if you're new to this stuff and you're here today because you want to just start exploring it, maybe you're doing a computer sciences degree locally, and you think, well, how do I get started? If you're feeling that you really need some help, what we've done is we've put together kind of recipe cards, if you like, on how to plug and play this stuff together and get started really quickly. And some of you sound like you're a lot more advanced than that, so I apologise if I'm talking at a lower level. I'm definitely not technical. It's really easy to use though. I'm not technical and I have actually used Bluemix myself. So, does that work? Why did my colleague do this? So, we're just talking about the ecosystem and all the different areas that there are, and there's a massive opportunity here. I heard that there's, from Gartner's report, something like 4.9 billion connected things in the internet, or connected things now this year. And by 2020, that's going to be something like 25 billion connected things. When you think about the fact that we are, what, a population of 7.38 billion people in the world, and that relationship is just explosive. It's a massive opportunity. The value of it, talking about numbers, is like, I think it's around about 69 billion US dollars this year in terms of market opportunity. And if you look to 2020, I've forgotten the number, but I'll follow up with you later on. Too many numbers in my head. But it's just saying, specialise in an area, take something to market, grasp this opportunity. It's huge, and you don't have to have the breadth of skills. You can focus in one specialist area, whether it's sensing devices, connection, or whatever. So, what we're doing with the ecosystem, as mentioned, is you can see some of the partners that we've got. Still connecting to manufacture, distribution, we've got integrators, we've got industry bodies, and we are very pro open standards, open systems. You've seen what we did with Linux, or you might be aware of that, and we're kind of contributing there to try and make everything as open and free if possible as well. We've got IBM programs that are already in place. We've got, for anybody that's at university at the moment, for higher and further education, we provide Bluemix as a platform for free for the whole year. You just have to get in touch with us and we'll give you a 16-digit code and you can start using it immediately. We've also got the Global Entrepreneur Programme, and we've got our traditional business partners. Is anybody here a young tech startup organisation? Great, well we've got a programme for you as well. If you're privately held, in business less than 5 years, and actually we say maximum revenue $1 million, and if you're actively engaged in developing software solutions which are aligned to IBM's IOT, smarter kind of themes, or cloud analytics, mobile, social and security, which we call CAMS. I much preferred it when we were talking about selling smack on the streets, but we changed that. Anyway, if you don't already resell IBM hardware or software, then we're interested in talking to you about this stuff. Come on board. And why would you do it? Well, we give you $1,000 US per month, and it's not cash, it's just use of Bluemix. And you can imagine you can start off with a bare metal server if you want a private environment, or you can have virtual servers, shared infrastructure. We'll give you access to things like firewalls and databases and all that kind of stuff up to that value. If you've got a really good business proposition and you think, well actually we're worth a lot more than that, we'll give you up to $120,000 US dollars a year, which is quite substantial and probably more than any of our competitors. So that's all free service there. We also give you access to the IBM Software Access Network, which is everything in IBM, plug and play, use it. Obviously you would need education in quite a lot of it because it's quite complex, but that's all there. We've got people to help you with that. We give you access to Bluemix as well. So if this was software, our cloud platform, this is Bluemix, the development platform. There is a difference, and you get another $1,000 US dollars on this one as well. We've got access to Watson through this. So if you want to build in artificial intelligence, or keep using that term, but I get told off for it because everybody thinks I'm talking about war. But talking about cognitive capabilities, then there's an API that you can just plug and play with that as well. Some other things that might be interesting to you, you can imagine IBM's got a massive procurement organisation, and we have got access to hotels and, I don't know, taxis and, I don't know, cars and stuff like that. We pass those discounts that we have that we've negotiated at a corporate level to our business partners as well, and that's one of the benefits you can get from a corporate level. We've got SmartCap, so if you've got a solution and you want to get into a pitching competition, SmartCap runs once a year. And you heard of Vicky Brock? She's a local lady from Glasgow. She's entered Smart Camp, and she got to the global finals and came second or third overall. And then she started using our technology, our SPSS predictive analytics from the software catalogue. And the benefit that she's seen now is that she's developed a product, and we introduced her to some of our top customers now. So that's people like Argos, Debenhams, and John Lewis as well. So she's a local kind of advocate for this programme. We give you business mentors, and we get you involved, and then we put your solution on the solution directory, and that's worldwide, so we can get you to a global audience for something you might be interested in. And we give you technical expertise as well, so there used to be 430 employees, 1,000 employees worldwide. I think we're down to around about 390 now, but a lot of them are technical people with expertise in the industries that you're interested in, and access to customers in those areas. So come and talk to us. We'd really like to take the opportunity to invite you to some of our customers. So what we're saying is harness intelligent data. You know, if you think about the example of, let's think, buying a washing machine. Today, if you take that home, the people that built the washing machine don't have any clue who you are. They know that they distributed it to the people that you bought it from. And you know, if you're you care about these things, you might fill in a little form and send it back via the post that says about your warranty, or you might fill in an online form if you're really advanced. But who would actually do that? Anybody here? Okay, so nobody's really doing that. So if you think about an intelligent washing machine, where you put in the sensing data, but you also connect it, they now have access to who their customer base is. That's so powerful. Your usage models. How do you actually, is it putting in the dog's towels every 3 minutes at my house because they're bogging in winter? How do you predict that all that dog hair is actually going to get caught in the drum and that there's going to be a problem and an overflow? And how do you analyse the outputs from those sensors to say, actually that drum's about to fail, get Lorna a new drum before her dog tails get too dirty quick, and get out there and do predictive maintenance and quality again. So it's about applying that technology to real life examples. Has anybody heard of these guys, Photon Star? It's interesting to see about the light bulbs earlier. So they are a British design and manufacturer organisation of light bulbs and lighting systems, and they're really interesting because if you go into YouTube, they'll talk about their products. It's really quiet for some reason, but Halcyon is a product which is like light bulbs that you put in your house that fit your existing infrastructure. So there's nothing different or advanced about that. But what they do is they give you a wireless system to interact with it, and then they give you an app for your phone. And NASA invested 12 million I think it was, US dollars about 2 years ago in the International Space Station, because people that are out in space don't get the benefit of the rising and falling sun, and you actually benefit from experiencing light in different tones throughout the day, and your productivity goes up. So these guys have taken that intelligence and they've applied it to a product which you can then put into your house. By the way, they also take fancy colours, so if you want to have a disco, that's all part of it. They're one of the IBM ecosystem partners. It's just a kind of case reference that may be of interest to you. And we'll have a look at it. Okay, so some of the experiences that we've had, I'll tell you what, it's too much text here. I'll send you out the slides and you can follow up with that one afterwards. But really what we're saying is go and try it, go and experience it, get on board and get in touch with us. We've got a community of other people that are using this technology as well. If you're really keen to understand the kind of finance side of it as well, we've got people that can come in and do business case analysis and all sorts of things. We've got people that can help you through every step of the process, and we really welcome you to come on board. And if you want to get your own kits, you've talked about your own stuff that you've developed and stuff like that, but it's not cost prohibitive. 20 quid for whatever. Go out there, plug and play, and get started. So we play in all these areas, and I just, like I said before, go and play with this stuff, have a try, and come back to us and see if you want to be part of it and use some of that facility for free. And I think there's just some links here that we can distribute afterwards. Any questions? And by the way, it was Pete's presentation. He is actually the IOT ecosystem Development Manager, and he is the guru. So if you've got any questions, feel free to get in touch.
No questions.
No questions, sorry.
We've got to get cracking. We'll do a panel session Q&A.
It's alright?
That's okay.
Good.
Is that alright?
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, let's crack on.